Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello, welcome to the Rotherham United podcast. Today we've got the review of the Barnsley defeat, and we'll look ahead to the New Year's Day game of Cardiff City on the 2nd, although it is the New Year's Day game. We have a full house with us as well. Mick, as always. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
And Benjamin
Hello.
is here as well, as always, unfortunately.
Right.
So, we got a much stronger starting 11 than we anticipated, and probably a couple more on the bench than anticipated. What were your thoughts when you first saw the lineup, Mick?
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it, actually. I thought it was a strong lineup considering the situation that we found ourselves in. And yeah, it didn't prove that way in the first half, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it, and quite pleased with the players that we clearly have. I was going to say fit, obviously not fit, but available is probably a better way of putting it. So yeah, it were quite a decent lineup to start with.
Yeah, so the lineup. We'll go through the lineup now, just so we've all, so everybody knows. Victor Hansen started again in goal. It was a back three again of Harding, Wood, Ehekwe. Ehekwe, the difference is this time that Ehekwe was on the left-hand side defence, which he's not played for a while. I don't know if he's ever played there for us. Wiles was always going to play as left wing back. Matt Alessandri as a right wing back. We played two in midfield, which was Barlaser and Lindsay, which probably cost us the first two goals, but we'll come on to that. And then we started with a front three of Joseph Soon, Ladepo and Vassell. Barnsley played a full squad, 9 subs and all. Thoughts, Ben?
What on the lineup?
Just on life in general.
Obviously.
Good start, mate.
I can't remember what I was going to say now. Yeah, two in midfield's not ideal, but we shouldn't have played. The situation isn't ideal. So yeah, you're probably right. It did probably cost us first goal, but I think we played out well. To say that they've had a global pandemic, as we said on the last one. Yeah, I think we played well. You don't know who's had it, and you know what I mean. You don't know who's not had it, and who's had it and not had symptoms, and you know what I mean. Because some of them would have been normally fine.
Yeah, I mean, we can make some educated guesses. For example, Smith must have either been self-isolating or had it, because he would start every single day of the week. Obviously, the players that didn't play were Crooks, Jones, and Angus MacDonald. Are the 3 key ones that were missing. So you'd assume they're either self-isolating or have had it. But yeah, you look at the players. I mean, Vass started off really, really well. Had a couple of chances, should have scored, but then tailed off quite badly towards half-time and afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. I was very surprised when he took Vass off. I was disappointed for Vass. I thought he was causing him all sorts of problems at the back. Like you say, he did flit in and out of the game, which I guess you can't really afford. However, he didn't flit in and out of the game as much as Freddie did for me. Yeah. And I think he was always more dangerous than Freddie in creating issues for Barnsley. However, I can see why he leaves Freddie on. I can understand that because obviously he's a poacher and he could
he might actually score, whereas Vass doesn't seem to be able to score.
Yeah, that seems to be the case, doesn't it? But yeah, I thought he played all right in first half. Freddie seemed to huff and puff a lot. He put himself about and he did chase the ball down and he did press and everything else, but he just seemed to be half a yard short in everything that he did.
Yeah.
Half a yard short in getting to the ball or 6 inches too short in jumping for a header. You know what I mean? He just never quite made it. And I don't know whether Freddie's been suffering as well. I don't know. He didn't appear to. He seemed to have as much energy as he usually has.
Yeah.
But not really that effective.
Yeah. So we started off the game. We started off. Vass had a good chance, a very good chance, which he should have done better with. They completely scuffed it.
Yeah.
And then Barnsley kicked into gear for about 20 minutes. And for 20 minutes, it was a really, really, really tough game for us. I messaged you both halfway through, after the second goal, saying it were men against boys, and only for a short period, but for a short period, it was literally a team who had been playing and training together very, very clearly, Ben, and a team who had looked like they just met, to be fair.
Yeah, well, that second goal It just took about, from when they got the ball, it was about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just a simple counter-attack, one of them ones where you drill it in training. Do you know what I mean? And tell the defenders what to do. But, yeah, I agree. But, as again, you can't treat it like a normal game because COVID, do you know what I mean?
Well, you said that. But the first goal, you've got Icky playing out of position, and that's his fault. That's just bread and butter defending. He's just let Woodrow turn him like a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? It was schoolboy defending from Icky. I'll put it down to him being out of position.
Yeah.
But as a defender, whether you're playing right, left, or middle, you know that shouldn't be allowed to happen, and it is a mistake.
I think that position does have an effect because when you're playing right hand side defence, you've only realistically got to defend one way.
Yeah.
To turn you into goal. That's what everybody's trying to do. So everybody's trying to turn you to your left shoulder into goal. Whereas when you're playing left hand side, obviously everybody's trying to play you into your right hand shoulder.
Yeah.
And it might seem a really small thing, but football is all about minute details. Championship Premier League, it's all about the minute details. And Colin Woodrow is a very experienced, one of the top scorers in Barnsley's history. So he's a very good player, and he's the type of person who can punish them mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely, and punishing it, he did.
Yeah.
And then on to the second goal. I'm sorry, that is a pure, simple refereeing issue as far as I'm concerned. It's a clear and obvious foul on Ben Wiles. A foul on Ben Wiles that he was giving all night to Barnsley. And it happens to us. And he did this a lot through that first half, the referee.
They were awful,
He was dreadful. But particularly in the first half, he was giving fouls against us that he wasn't giving for us. And that was a perfect example. It's definitely a foul. And I mean, the commentator's saying Ben Wiles lost the ball. Yeah, he lost the ball because he was fouled. And it's not given, and then they go up and score. I were absolutely furious. I was livid at that point, and not with Rotherham United. I don't think we deserved that at all. We didn't. They did not deserve that second goal, Barnsley, on their performance in the first half, second half, and overall, as far as I'm concerned. And that were gifted to them by a referee for me.
It were gifted to them, but we didn't help ourselves. No. But again, we're playing two midfield against a team who like to dominate the areas of the pitch. We purposely bypassed midfield the entire night.
Yeah,
I don't like playing long ball.
No,
but there is a time and a place, and when you've not been able to train together, the easiest thing to do is we've got a couple of big men up top. We've got Vass and Freddie who can hold up and Smith in second half. Tonight, let's just go long. Let's go direct. Yeah. And to be fair, it didn't suit Barnsley's game. No. They didn't like us going long, did they?
I mean, let's be honest. It was a crap game.
Yeah,
it was a dreadful game. But what you got two teams that are very similar in that they both press really well, but neither of them can deal with teams pressing really well.
Yeah.
So it ended up like an under-9s game, with sort of 15 players around ball in the middle of the park trying to win trying to win the same tackle. You know what I mean? And ball's going long, but that says as much about Barnsley as it does about us. You know, if you press them, they can't deal with it.
No, they like it all.
And in the second half showed that. So I don't know where I was going with that. I just started.
Okay. Barnsley had a lot of positive said about them, Ben, and they're clearly doing a very good job. I think they're all good points off the playoffs. What are they, 9th or 10th? The commentator said last night, didn't he, that it's the best month in Barnsley's history, best December in their club history. I was less than impressed. Other than that 20-minute period at first half, I didn't really feel under threat, other than when we pushed late on.
They were awful. They were one of the worst teams I've seen this season.
Fair enough.
Without a doubt. With full fit squad, I think we'd have won that. They were awful. They were just awful. Where's this high pressing game? Non-existent. I don't know if it's because they were sitting off or whatever it was. But they looked awful. They got a goal, like you said, from a foul. And referee were just awful. We'll move on to that, but it was awful. It was such an injustice of a night. I can't even believe it. We shouldn't have even played the game.
Yeah, Ben sulked all the way through the game, mate. Didn't he? It was just all he could say was, we shouldn't be playing this game. We shouldn't be playing this game. And then obviously 2-0 down after 20 minutes. That it were almost going to open a vein somewhere. But I mean, I'm with Ben on this. I don't see what all fuss is about on that performance. Obviously, they've done well.
Yeah.
on some occasions, but like you've just said, fine margins, and that's what this division is all about. And the luck comes as part of those fine margins, and we're getting none of it. We're getting absolutely zero luck anywhere at all at any time. And I know up to a point you do make your own luck, but you only make your own luck through hard work, and you cannot fault this squad for hard work.
No.
So. Yeah, there is an issue with quality. They've got a quality striker in that Woodrow bloke, or whatever his name is. Is it Woodrow? Whatever it is. I don't know, whatever his name is. But he's not that much of a quality striker.
No.
He just he took his chance last night. We didn't. You know.
Yeah, no, I agree. But if they go on to make playoffs,
no, good luck
it's
to
work
him.
for them. I have nothing against Barnsley.
No.
You know, I don't like Wednesday.
It's not really a derby.
I don't really
is it?
like Donny. I don't really like Chesterfield. Barnsley and Sheffield. It's a rivalry. It's a derby. But I don't have any hatred or dislike to them particularly.
Listen, bear in mind what I've just said there. That's not a rivalry. You know, oh, I hate Barnsley. It's not. It's just I'm saying what the way I perceived that game yesterday. Nothing else. It's not because it's Barnsley or a local team. It's just I just said it if it were Brentford or whoever. You know what I mean?
It's not really a derby, is it? When you look at it, because I think it's where the history. Do you know
Is this
what I
because
mean?
we never beat them?
No, it's because they're a big club than us in reality, aren't they? Same with Sheffield. I feel like that's why I don't feel like it's a rivalry, and it's just no point because they're actually all right clubs.
Yeah, I mean, you say that because we haven't beaten them, but yeah, we haven't beaten them, and we haven't beaten them since 1982 or whatever it is. Yeah. We've only played them 3 times. It's not as though we've, you know what I mean?
We don't play.
We don't play them every season. You know what I mean? And lost
true.
every season. We've played them 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's
Similar towns. Where Rotherham as a town and Barnsley as a town are very, very similar.
Yeah, they are.
In terms of background and everything else. So I think that's why it's not as a bigger rivalry as our other friends.
No.
Put it that way. The second half, I thought in general we were quite poor in the first half.
Yeah.
Other than Vass was our best player in the first half by a mile.
Yeah, I thought so.
Joseph Soon, Breckin said it in commentary. The game just completely passed him by. That's not his position, and I don't necessarily blame him because he's playing in a different position and he's had no training to do that. So I don't necessarily put a blame on Joseph Soon. But when Smith came out in the second half, just changed game.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you listened to Warner's interview. He said that he was asked why he took him off.
Yeah.
And he basically said exactly what you've said there. It's just not his type of game. You know, he's not going to win your headers against defenders. That's not what he does. And unfortunately, it didn't work for him in first half. And so he had to change it. And like you said, Smithy made the difference, didn't he, when he came on?
Yeah, we had to try something different. We had literally no choice. We were playing, a 5-2-3, which is a completely bizarre formation, but we didn't have a choice. Smith came on. Smith has now scored 3 goals in 3 games, which is his best run for us. The last time he scored 3 in 3 was Portsmouth in 2016. I haven't looked at this, but if he gets 4 in 4, that may well end up being his best run of his entire career. It caused them just no end of problem, Ben. As soon as he came on, and it weren't because he was winning headers all time, or his play on the deck was excellent as well.
Yeah, it's a Smithy type game. I think, like you say, it's not Flojo's game. It were going to be a great game. It were going to be whoever wants it more, and Smithy. You know what I mean? Smith and Wood. With their cup of tea probably yesterday. You know what I mean? Like Christmas for them because he'd just go out and get bashed about and bash people about. You know what I mean? And he got his goal and he deserved it because it was quality.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they look crap from set pieces and all, don't they?
Oh God. Yeah, I mean they are. I'd be worried as a Barnsley supporter, looking at every time anybody gets a set piece or corner or whatever around our box. I'm thinking we're going to concede. Yeah. They were dreadful. They were dreadful at it. I thought the 2 central defenders were poor throughout the game. They tried. They really did try to bully players. But when you're looking at Vass and Smithy, they're not players that you can bully.
No.
You can outthink them, you can outsmart them, but don't try and bully them because that's just not going to work. There were a couple of occasions throughout the game. I mean, on one occasion, one of them kicked Matt Sunday in the face.
Yeah, and there were one that stamped on
Johansson. Johansson, sorry.
The thing is with them, they were obviously told to go hard on us because there were a few challenges on Johansson.
There were 2 or 3, weren't there?
Where they were like, red card, weren't some of them. Well, sticking leg out, you know what I mean?
Certainly one of them, that one where the referee reluctantly gave a free kick was a yellow card.
Woodrow, I think.
Yeah, it absolutely cleaned him
did that.
out in the air. Yeah. And any other day, that's a yellow card. Yeah. Adebayo, I can't
Adebayo.
Best striker who missed.
Stamped on him. He stamped on his leg.
Adebayo,
whatever his name is, I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. But he stamped on his shin.
He did, yeah.
Nothing given.
He didn't even go for the ball. It weren't like he went for the ball and missed. He stood on it.
It was deliberate. It appeared deliberate from the replays. But I mean, we're back onto referees, aren't we? Let's not go on that. Let's not.
We'll give him his own section because I'm sure Steve Martin would love his own little section.
I'm sure he would.
It just never quite fell for us in the second half. Hurst had that chance, which was a shot by Wiles. And Hurst did well to get on end of it. It was too high for Hurst to get anything better, I think.
Yeah.
The only chance that we should have done better with is Freddie.
Yeah.
Freddie got onto his left foot in a fantastic position.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely waiting for net to go.
Yeah, I was. I thought we
were in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Massively disappointing. But how good is that we're thinking in the circumstances? We've had 15 fit players, whatever it is, 2 of them keepers. And we're saying that we're disappointed not to at least get a point against one of the informed teams in the country, never mind the division.
Yeah.
Well, we predicted 3 or 4-0.
Yeah. So it went first one in, I was generally worried.
Yeah. Well, when it went 2-0 in 20 minutes, like I said, I was just making up an excuse to say something shouldn't be playing it, just trying to blame it on something. But yeah, we pulled it back a little bit in the end, didn't we? So.
Yeah. There's nothing but pride about the way they played. Yeah. About the way we played, sorry. Nothing but pride. I thought they worked really hard. I can't question any commitment. Yeah, the midfield was non-existent, but that was basically our game plan to miss out the midfield. There were some people who didn't play particularly well. Like Icky made a mistake.
Yeah, he didn't have a bad game though. It's not as though
but he weren't at the top of his game. He clearly weren't at the top of his game. Freddie clearly weren't at the top of his game. Flojo didn't have a very good game, but they didn't stop trying.
No, it was 100% effort without a shadow of a doubt. And if you don't think it was, then you're wrong.
Yeah, you are. 100%.
Simple as that. They clearly gave everything they got, and to be fair, it should have been good enough. Had the odd stroke of luck gone our way, it would have been good enough. When Smithy scored the goal, I genuinely thought, we could win this.
I did, yeah.
We could actually win this, and like I said, had we taken our chances and had we rode our luck a little bit, we would have won it, no doubt, because they didn't have any answer in that second half.
Yeah.
I've heard talk over recent weeks about them, being a last 15 minutes side, and they really do like to push it in the last 15 minutes. I don't know what they were pushing.
No.
But it weren't football, was it?
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was funny, that.
Thank you very much. See if you can make a bit more noise on the table, Ben. I'm only kidding.
Yeah, if anybody thinks that there were anything wrong in terms of effort from Tuesday night's game, like Mitch just said, you're completely wrong.
Yeah.
You are just wrong. All we could have possibly asked for is for everybody to work quite hard. There was not really a game plan. What would you want people to do with two-day preparation, having not played previously? Even if we were playing Saturday, Tuesday, there will still be a degree of preparation for the following game.
Absolutely.
For resting players like X, Y, and Z. There was zero preparation time on a pitch. Well, there was any comments that the training ground was shut.
Yeah.
So everything's been done virtually. That was as much as we could possibly expect. I put a tweet out saying that I was very happy with the performance. It was a very good performance. And you've got to take into account circumstances. Under the circumstances, it was a very good performance.
Yeah, you're right, and there has been, and I know what we're both alluding to this, and I don't really want to go over this same old stupid ground again. I'm entitled to my opinion on these people on Facebook, which is just. I messaged you last night and I was saying, don't bother looking at it. I just want to gouge my own eyes out. You are entitled to your opinion if you've got the mental capacity to actually think it through. And if you think genuinely that performance last night wasn't up to scratch, you're not entitled to an opinion because you are wrong. It's as simple as that.
I said it during the thing. I know, obviously, I don't know about what Birkin and that are allowed to say, but I said, is it just us three that knows that we've had COVID?
Yeah.
Because everyone, they're playing like, this is an alright performance. We didn't talk about it once. We're not talking like we've had it. And like you said on Facebook, if you've had COVID, a global pandemic, it's not just some sniffle.
Ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear